It was one of the most unbelievable finishes in Canadian Tour history as Eugene Wong holed his approach on the 72nd hole to win the Canadian Tour Championship by a single shot. Welcome to this week's edition of the Canadian Tour Report, where tomorrow's champions are today. Hi everyone, I'm John Swantek. The Canadian Tour brought its flagship event to the venerable Scarborough Golf and Country Club in Toronto last week, celebrating its centennial anniversary. Steeped in history, Scarborough is the only A.W. Tillinghast design outside of the United States, having hosted several Canadian Opens and ranking among the top courses in the country.
Scarborough is just, one of the real classic clubs, not just in Toronto, but across Canada. Going back over 100 years, it's always been noted for wonderful service. The golf course itself has always been superb. And the management here have just reinforced that reputation they've had for so long. We simply wish them another 100 years.
A star-studded field of Canada's best emerging professional golfers, as well as a number of international standouts, teed it up at the Canadian Tour Championship. Those in the 154-man field were all hoping to put their name in the history books with a victory. Rounds 1 and 2 saw a parity-filled leaderboard develop, with 11 players sitting within 3 shots of the 36-hole lead, held by 2011 International Rookie of the Year Joe Panzeri. Panzeri lit up the course for a second round 64 that included 9 birdies in a 12-hole stretch. Charging up the leaderboard on day 3 was former NCAA standout Eugene Wong of Vancouver, British Columbia. The 3-time All-American who won the Jack Nicklaus Award in 2010 as the NCAA's top player at the University of Oregon shot a 367 to move into a tie with Mississippi's Trey Denton atop the tightly packed leaderboard heading into Sunday. The final round saw Panzeri take hold of the tournament, making birdie on 7 of his first 12 holes to build a 2-shot lead over Wong. A handful of other players tried to keep pace, but only Wong, who made a clutch birdie on 16, could keep within striking distance of the lead. After Panzeri posted 13 under par, Wong stood in the 18th fairway knowing he needed a birdie to force a playoff. Then the unthinkable happened. Take a look at it, captured by our Canadian Tour media officials. Wong's unbelievable shot from 133 yards gave him a one-stroke victory in just his 4th event as a professional, earning him a 2-year exemption on the Canadian Tour and a special place in the Canadian Tour history books.
It's great. For me to put my name beside great players that make it through this tour and go to the PGA Tour, it's just an honor for me.
Follow the Canadian Tour next week as it heads to Gananoque, Ontario for the season-ending Great Waterway Classic, where the top 2 spots on the order of merit will decide who gets a bypass into the second stage of PGA Tour Q School. This week's Canadian Tour Report is brought to you by Scarborough Golf and Country Club. The Canadian Tour would like to thank all members and staff for a memorable week. To learn more about Canada's only A.W. Tillinghast design, please visit scarboroughgolf.com.